Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today is tip 75. And my mind was having a little bit of fun with me last night, so I'm just going to share what I was dreaming about, and I just kind of put it down in a couple of steps. I know yesterday I mentioned gardening and how I'm kind of getting ready to think about what I want my garden to look like this year. But ironically, last night I was dreaming about how my weight loss journey was like gardening, and it was funny because in the dream I was feeling like artificial sweeteners and processed foods were like the bugs crawling on my body. And no, I don't take drugs and I don't smoke marijuana. And so my mind it's a beautiful tool and it does funky things to me. But I always kind of take, if I am dreaming about something, it must be something on my mind. And I started thinking about, is our weight loss journey kind of like gardening? And there are a lot of similarities if you kind of think about it. And really, no matter what we do in this journey, if there's something that we can attach to that will make this journey better, then we got to do it, because this is forever, this is lifelong, and we have to find the tools that will keep pushing us forward as we stumble. I've been taking a lot of classes, like even with the law of attraction, and part of what, food is that it's energy. And if you're eating food because of energy, because it gives you energy, makes you feel stronger, are you getting a better quality of energy from a fresh, all-natural food, or from something that's a cardboard box? And so kind of what I was thinking about is, like, we all know, like gardening, you want the right location. So I was thinking about, related to weight loss, is that do you need surgery? Do you not need surgery? How are you going to change your diet? Are you in the right location so that your journey of weight loss can be successful? And in my case, that meant that I had to have surgery 5 years ago. Right now, during COVID, I had to make some adjustments to try to make sure I stayed engaged in the journey. So in that respect, being in the right place and finding the right location for my weight loss is similar to gardening. The next thing that I was thinking about, and like I said, I was dreaming last night about bugs crawling on my body like I was a plant, and it was just it made me see similarities, and that's just kind of where my brain went. But another thing we know about gardening is that you need to stay close to water. And I was thinking about, and like I said, I was dreaming about bodies and gardening and health, weight loss together yesterday. And I just kept thinking about, in the dream, the artificial sweeteners were like polluted water that I was drinking. So again, I don't know if this is helpful. It's just where my brain went last night when I was dreaming, but it is kind of true. How our plants do better when we give them good water. I know there's nutrients and stuff in water, but are we really getting nutrients and positive things? And remember, we have to block off what advertising says. Forget what the advertisers say. Do we know that we're getting as close to natural in our water that we're drinking? But it was just so funny, because in this dream, I'm having bugs crawl over me, and I'm like in a polluted pond, and it was just kind of funny that my head went there. But it must have been that's just what what my brain did yesterday. But it just kind of made me realize, water is like gardening, because we want to fuel our bodies with quality water, hydrated, to keep ourselves hydrated. And we would be careful with what is being added to the water that we're giving our plants. We wouldn't put bleach in the water that we're giving our plants, because we know it would kill them. Then great soil, is the soil, are you planting in a place where you have good soil, or is it sand? We're not going to get as far gardening in sand as we would in nutrient-dense soil. And that's the same kind of like with our diet. What kind of food are we eating? Is it nutrient-dense food, or is it processed powder? So there is a similarity there too. And it is funny, I'm not sure why my mind was having all these dreams, but in the dreams I was a plant and I had bugs and polluted water, and it was just kind of funny. But I'm like, well, maybe I need to make sure I'm staying committed to the journey, because it's a forever journey, and it's a journey that I'm not going to ever give up on myself for. And I don't want you guys to give up on yourselves. We want this long term. it was also talking about knowing your hardiness zone. And I think that can kind of be like knowing your hardiness zone, knowing your frost states. And I kind of equated that to knowing where you can stumble, you know, like, can you manage a birthday party? Can you manage a night out with friends? Can you manage a sugary drink? Can you manage holiday celebrations? So I was kind of thinking about, in relation to gardening, what is your hardiness zone and what is your frost states? Where are your hard stops on the things that will cause you to stumble in the weight loss journey? And I think we all have them. Like for me now, I could go to a birthday party and I could say, no, I don't eat ice cream anymore. And in the beginning of my journey, I always said it would make me sick. I don't know if it would or wouldn't. It was just that I didn't want to try. Now I can easily say, you know, I'm 5 years out. I've been trying to maintain this journey. I want you to feel totally comfortable eating whatever it is that you want to eat. But for me, my choice is no. So in relating to gardening, the hardiness zone, the frost states, that's kind of what came to my mind. Again, our mind is a beautiful tool, but sometimes it'll leave you with a puzzle. Then another thing it was talking about is, you know, like it said, like if you were gardening, sometimes people add mulch, or they add like a layer of, in Doc V's case, he'll talk about a layer of dark leaves and stuff to kind of protect your soil. And it also helps to hold in nutrients. And I was thinking in the realm of weight loss, that kind of relates to our online, or when we are allowed to meet in person, our face-to-face groups where we all talk about our journey and try to provide each other tips. It's about accountability partners, somebody that you check in each day so that you have that protection around you to kind of keep you moving forward. And education and continual learning. These lives have forced me to kind of continue to learn. And it's also, I guess, given my brain fodder to think about all night long. But if it keeps me engaged in this journey, it's the greatest gift I've given myself, because I don't want to ever fall back on where I was before. I want to keep moving forward. And I do feel a responsibility to myself, but even in going live, I need to be working this and trying to share what is and isn't working with you guys, because maybe something will resonate and maybe it won't. We all have to find what will allow us to keep moving forward. And even our steps are different. If you're walking next to somebody's gait will be smaller or larger than the person next to them. So what we have to do is find what is it that will allow us to keep moving forward without falling back, keep our soil clean and full of nutrients, and make sure we're hydrating properly. You know, I don't want to say an all or nothing. It's in learning and recognizing where you can make an improvement. Even if, and I know I've said this before, but even Doc V will say, even if it's adding in one water bottle a day that has no additives in it, if it's adding in 100 more steps, 1,000 more steps a day, if it's adding one fresh fruit or vegetable that you haven't had before in your green smoothie. If you're not eating green smoothies, maybe it's just adding that green smoothie. And I guess gardening and weight loss should be seen as coming together, because we are part of that circle of life, and that it all comes together. But we know that feeding regularly, we want good soil for our plants. For our bodies, we want good soil, which is kind of in the same idea. The fruits and vegetables with less pesticides, with no reducing artificial and processed foods, addressing the mind blocks. And that's kind of like going back to this idea of what are your frost states and what are your hardiness zones? What are your triggers? You know, if you're faced with obstacles, even thinking ahead of time. When I first had my surgery, I simply went to, it will make me sick, because a lot of foods did make me sick then. Now I'm confident enough and have come far enough in my journey that I'll just say no. If you don't have that confidence at first, it's just a new process. This is what the doctor wants me to do. And it is what your doctor would want you to do. So finding what you can to keep yourself in the game and keep yourself remembering why you're doing it and doing the steps to keep you moving forward. Because all of our journeys are different. I might be able to walk 24 inches in my gait. Somebody else might be 12. That's probably small, but in any case, as long as we're taking those little steps forward, we'll continue to progress forward. And the mind part is important in keeping our thoughts positive. And then I was realizing it when I was dreaming about all these crazy bugs crawling on my body from having bad soil. We also want to recognize that our food is a source of energy in our body. We already know that, but do we connect that the quality of the food we're eating increases the energy that's in our body? The water that we're drinking, is it polluted or is it pure and fueling our bodies in the right way? So I don't really know where this analogy came in. Well, I do know. I was dreaming last night about me being a plant in a garden. Bizarre, but that's what I was thinking. And it made me think about what the similarities are between the body and a garden. And really, it is all the circle of life. In the same way that we want to find the right location, we want to find the right nutrients, and we want to find the right water to grow the best possible garden. We want to find the right support group. We want to fuel with the best possible water. We want to fuel with the best possible food. We want to also provide our body with the best possible tools to grow to its potential. Food and water are forms of energy that we put into our body, and putting the best quality into our body helps our body stay in a positive energy area. And it's a win-win all the way around. So yes, a bizarre dream, but if thinking that eating processed foods is a bunch of ugly critters calling on my body keeps me from eating them, well then, hey, great. Have another dream just like that tonight, body, and I'll take it. But I'm hoping you find something interesting, and if nothing else, a good laugh, because I don't know where my brain was going last night. But if it helps me to remember, this journey is about taking steps to make my life healthier. And it's not just what I'm doing today, it's what I'm inviting into my life and how I'm moving forward. And it is all a form of energy. We want to provide the right nutrients and sunlight and items to the food so that it can grow. Well, in the same sense, if we want our health journey to grow to its best possible, we want to be fueling it correctly and putting the right energy into it so that we're moving forward in that direction. So I hope you find something useful. If not, I hope it brings a smile today, because boy, that gave me the heebie-jeebies. But again, if it keeps me in the positive frame of mind, then I'll take it every single day. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Enjoy some sunshine. I think we're going to have another nice warm day. Stay safe. I know in some areas numbers are starting to go up. We don't want to go backward. We want to keep walking forward. And that goes the same with our weight loss journey. Let's keep walking forward and know that a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, we'll have amazing results if we just do that one thing today to keep moving us up and keeping our energy, our thoughts, our fueling in an upward, higher energy area. Thank you and have a beautiful day.